And welcome back to another episode of Inside the Huddle. Today we got a little bit of a different style, tier list maker. And I don't know if you guys have seen the recent trend on the internet, but you can literally do anything from fast food restaurants to movies,
whatever,
and anything you want. And today we're going to give it a shot with the 2018-2019 NFL starting quarterbacks.
Yep. And like you said, it's last year's starting quarterbacks, not this year, so you're not going to see Kyler Murray, all the rookie quarterbacks in them. So, I say we just jump right into it.
Yeah, and just a disclaimer, it's based off of how they were last year and not how they project to be in the future. So if we have a rookie lower than you would expect, that's why. They're just not good enough yet, but they might be, but they're not yet.
Yep. So we'll start it off. Pat Mahomes, he's in the S tier, so it goes S tier, which is like the cleared star to
superstar.
Yep. And then
MVP player.
Yep. And then you got A, the Pro Bowlers, bona fide players.
Sorta.
Yep.
Super Bowl contenders.
Yep.
Usually.
And then you got B tier, who is either emerging or
borderline Pro Bowler.
Yeah,
they're good players.
Yeah, they're basically right there. And then C tier, which is kind of more emerging, actually. I guess B isn't really emerging. C is more the emerging tier. And then D tier, which just...
You don't want them on your roster.
No, you don't.
You don't.
To say the least, no, you don't.
You do not want them hiking the ball and throwing it anywhere.
Certainly not.
On your football field.
But this guy you do. Pat Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes. That's why he's S tier.
Yep, he's S tier. MVP. One of the best seasons ever by a quarterback. I think that's really all that needs to be said.
All right, next up, Phillip Rivers. Same division. Led his team to 11 wins, but ended up being a wild card team. Had to go to Gillette and got whacked.
Yep.
But he's a Pro Bowler, all-time great, Hall of Famer. Next player.
Yep. Case Keenum. D tier. Underperformed, especially from what was expected from him by John Elway. Overpaid. Now he's in Washington. He'll get some game time this year because Haskins is a rookie. But yeah.
All right, next up, Derek Carr, C tier.
My guy.
Doesn't have great chemistry with John Gruden. At one point, he had that season where he was borderline MVP. I mean, he was certainly in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, he was knocking on the door.
He was a B that year, maybe even an A, but he's a C right now in this stage of his career.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a B tier next year at least, but that's just me.
Yeah, maybe.
So, Eli Manning, D tier. Again, that's another self-explanatory one. I mean,
Eli.
Terrible year last year. It's ruining. The more he goes, it's just going to be worsening his legacy. Yep.
All right, next up, Alex Smith, D. Is that a little harsh? Is it? You see, I would say no. I feel like he's just over that bump in his career, and he's not there anymore. He might not play at all this year. He's going to be behind the pecking order, even when he comes back, probably.
I mean, unfortunately, he may never even play again.
Making plenty of money.
He may never
Which
even play
sucks.
again.
That was a bad way
that's a terrible way to get out. No, you hate to see that for anybody, no matter who it is. So that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on, Nick Foles, C tier.
Yeah, I mean, people can argue that he's better than that because he's Super Bowl MVP and just carried that Eagles team, but he's there for me because he's not a talented enough player to play 16 games and give you good enough weekly performances.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles would have been foolish to move on from Wentz and keep Foles. So, good move by them.
Next player, Carson Wentz. Funny how that works.
Yeah.
We have him as a B, and I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
If he had played all of last year and maybe played in the playoffs with the Eagles, he'd be pushing for an A spot at this point in his career.
He would, yeah.
He was great last year before he got injured, MVP level, and there's a reason why the Eagles GM picked him over Nick Foles.
Yep. I think that's pretty well said. Dak Prescott, B tier.
B tier.
He was definitely leading one of the hottest teams going into the playoffs, other than the Colts probably. Dallas Cowboys, he's looking for one of the biggest contracts ever. He did well last year. I thought he proved his worth personally.
Yeah, I haven't always been a biggest Dak fan, but he gets wins.
Yeah.
Past 3 seasons, Cowboys have the second most wins behind our Patriots, and that's a given.
Yeah.
So next player, Mitch Trubisky, C. He can lead your team to wins. He's the true definition of a system quarterback at this stage in his career. He can't throw the ball great. To be honest, he's more of a runner than a thrower, and they just get carried by that defense. But he he definitely has an upward trend in his career. We could see him higher on this list.
Yeah, I'm personally a big Mitch guy. I think that defense certainly kept him in some games last year.
Yeah.
I personally thought that he was a B tier. I thought he performed well enough to be a B tier personally. But I think C tier is probably, because I'm a little biased towards it, I think C tier is probably a good point for him.
I think that throughout this list, if you have any disagreements, put it in perspective of match him up. Say, could he play as well or be as good as anyone in the row above him? Is Mitch Trubisky a better quarterback than Carson Wentz?
Yeah.
And to us, the answer is no, and I think to most of you guys, the answer would be no too.
I agree. So, moving on, Josh Allen, D tier. It's an age thing with him. I think he had like a good 4 to 5 or 6 game stretch where he really showed out, but
he's just not there quite yet.
No, he's not there, and he didn't have all the great targets like some of these other
he did not at all
quarterbacks. So
no, he had nothing.
Yeah, I mean that's tough for him.
Yeah. All right, Kirk Cousins, B, and this one's a little bit shaky. I think I see a lot of people have him in the C, just because of his primetime performances. And I'm the first to say, you're not winning a Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins. You're just not. He's not at the A or S tier level. But I also don't know as if you're winning a Super Bowl with any of these A or S guys, or anyone that's not an A or an S guy.
Yep.
So, I mean, I think it's fair to have him in that B category.
Yeah, I mean, he lost them some games. That Bills game was embarrassing for him. Like,
bad.
What,
they
4 or 5 turnovers?
Out.
I mean, and going back to the Bills, I mean, they're solid defense, but they're no Rams. I mean, they're not on that level. So, I mean, I think D tier is pretty accurate. But and then we got
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And I have him in the A tier, and there's no arguing that he could be the most talented player in the NFL. I think Mahomes has surpassed him now.
Yeah.
But a lot of people will say that they need to see more out of Mahomes. I think that's ridiculous. He's proved it. 48 touchdowns. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So, Aaron Rodgers, self-explanatory. Let's move on.
I mean, real quick,
Okay.
tough year last year. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited to see what he does with the new coach.
I think he can bounce back.
Yeah, I agree.
Still an A level.
Devontae Adams, #1 target. So yeah,
I would imagine having a fantasy draft and getting stuck with Devontae at 8.
That
would suck. All right.
Shout out Nick Stroud.
Yeah, that's a old co-host quote.
Yeah. Matthew Stafford, C tier. Once again, another self-explanatory one. He might push for a wild card spot, but he's more of a fantasy quarterback with that big arm of his.
Yeah, he's not leading to any playoff success.
No.
All right, Drew Brees. I'm slotting him in at the A tier. That's self-explanatory. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Hall of Famer. Broke plenty of records last year. Well respected around the league. And his team always manages to perform, so let's move on.
Michael Thomas, big threat for him.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan, B tier. He underperformed last year. And it was tough because his defense wasn't helping him out at all. So many,
injuries.
Yeah, so many injuries. I mean, Deion Jones, Trufant, too many to count. But so I mean, it was tough. But Matt Ryan just underperformed last year, plain and simple.
Yeah, Jameis Winston, C. He's nothing special. Was getting outplayed by Ryan Fitzpatrick early on. Ended up overcoming that.
Yep. Having
a decent season fantasy-wise, but no production. He'll throw 3 picks on any given night, any given half.
Yeah.
I'm completely over the Jameis Winston thing. He's not he should not be in any team's future.
And he loves his crab legs.
Oh my gosh, he does.
He does. It's bad. Moving on. Cam Newton, B tier. I don't know. It's controversial, A and B, but I think B tier currently because of how I mean just how it last year went. He was struggling with the injury, so I mean that was tough. He didn't look like
you could tell he was injured.
Yeah, you could tell. You could tell. I mean he couldn't throw a 10-yard spiral, so I mean that was tough.
Yeah. All right, Jared Goff, and I have him as a B. Very talented.
Yep.
He's going to be a future player. I've seen a lot of Brady comparisons, and they're like playing styles. I see it, but their early trajectories as far as young offensive head coach versus Bill Belichick, I don't see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Goff has already propelled himself into a B at this stage of his career.
Yeah, I mean with Cooks, Woods, I mean those are 2 great deep threats. So yeah. Moving on, Jimmy G. Yep, B tier. And again, it's tough because of the injury, but we both think he was on his way to a solid year.
Yeah.
From what we saw of him, at least. Do you think he should have stepped out of bounds?
Yes. I don't. You can say I like how he was a dog and got the extra
He's
yard.
a gamer. He proves
you
he's
don't
a gamer.
want your quarterback. I'd prefer my quarterbacks with 2 ACLs. Thank you.
I like that my quarterback's fighting for those extra yards.
Get out of bounds. If I'm your coach, get out of bounds. I'm paying you $145 million over the next 5 years. Just step out of bounds.
That's fair.
All right. Russell Wilson, talked a lot of talk about how he might leave just to get that contract. Let's be honest. He was never going to leave. And he's an A tier for me. He's that good. He's one of the 5 or 6 best quarterbacks in the NFL. The Seahawks, annually haven't had great talent, especially as of recently on the offensive side. And doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Great team, great franchise, great player.
I mean, Doug Baldwin leaving him. That's
biggest
tough.
target.
Yep.
Gone.
DK Metcalf now, though. It's exciting.
4th pick.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Slept a little further than people thought.
Yeah, it certainly did. So moving on, Sam Darnold, D tier.
Certainly D tier.
Yeah, I mean most picks.
Can I say a word about Sam Darnold?
Go right ahead.
I think that a lot of people are giving up on him a little too early. There's just saying, oh, the Jets made a mistake picking him over this guy or this player, and they're ranking their quarterbacks from that draft class, and I see Darnold at the bottom of the list. I'm like, really? You're picking Josh Rosen over Sam Darnold? And I don't get it. Sam Darnold's not there yet. That's why he's in the D tier, but telling you, he will be. He's one to look out for.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he does this year.
All right. Josh Rosen, all of you.
D tier. Once again, it's kind of an age thing. The inexperience didn't really have a great chance to prove himself.
Mm-hmm.
What would they finish, like 3-13 or something like that?
Didn't play all the games, but yeah.
Yeah, he didn't play all the games. But he just didn't prove himself. I'm excited to see what he does in Miami this year. People have them at like 3 to 4 wins. I think they might win 5 to 6. I think
that's fair.
I think this trade might have actually matured him a little more.
Yeah, the experience.
Yep.
And if it hasn't yet, hopefully it will. As looking back on it, type of thing.
Yeah. But if the Dolphins don't have a good year this year,
it's on him.
Yeah, it's unfortunately on him, and that might be it for him.
Yeah, his value will be at an all-time low.
Yeah. So moving on, Baker Mayfield. C tier.
Yeah, people love Baker. So some people are going to be like, "Oh, Baker at C, that's ridiculous." But if you're just looking at the facts, we haven't even had a rookie hit C tier, so that itself has been an accomplishment. And you can just tell he's clearly better than all the guys in D and all those rookies and just old vets that are no good. But he just isn't there yet, just because he only played in 12 games. But he's coming.
Yeah, I mean,
he'll be great.
Also, though, compared to the other rookie quarterbacks, he had the targets around him. He had Jarvis. He had the steady run game with Nick Chubb. He's going to have Odell this year. So, I mean, I think he moves into at least B tier next year, and I'm excited to see what he does.
Yeah, I agree. All right, next up, Deshaun Watson. 3rd seed in the AFC. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
And he, time in, time out, has just played really well in tough situations, but the Texans were just not too great.
Yeah. I mean, they ran.
When it came to the playoffs, I mean, they had a really good regular season.
I mean, they ran into the hottest team in the NFL, and the Colts. I mean, the Colts were on a crazy run, so I mean, that was just unlucky, really, to have to run into them. But yeah.
All right, you want to take it over with your boy, or your old boy, I should say?
Yeah. All right, Ryan Tannehill, D tier. I don't really think there needs to be much said about that, but I once thought Tannehill was going to be a legit quarterback. I had said after his rookie year.
He did. Can confirm.
I said after his rookie year, he was going to end up at least a top 5 quarterback in the league. That didn't happen. It didn't happen.
Not even close to happening.
His ACL, Thanos snap. Yeah. Nothing.
All right.
It was bad.
Move on, please. Yeah. Next up, Lamar Jackson. And we have him at the D. I haven't seen him good enough as a thrower yet. Mm-hmm. And he can get it done with his legs, but only for X amount of weeks until that doesn't work anymore. Right. You saw the Chargers, the only team to have played him twice, seemed to have figured it out the second time. They what did they do? They had like 8 defensive backs or something stupid.
That was crazy.
Yeah, so next player, Ben Roethlisberger. What do you think about him? Hey, I agree.
I think with all the drama last year, last year was a wash with all the
Scrap.
drama. AB was causing too much problems. Lev Bell was causing too much problems, and Big Ben brought him on himself in a few instances.
He's not clean.
No, he's not. But I'm excited to see what he does this year with James Conner. Hopefully he can keep up that production in the backfield, so they don't have to worry about the throwing game so much. He's got Juju. I think Juju's going to be incredible this year. As a
I
number
hope he
one.
does.
Yeah.
I like the guy. He's so likable.
Yeah, he's a very likable guy.
All right, next up, the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, C tier. Shout out Noah Jalbert.
Yeah.
Massive Bengals fan, even bigger Inside the Huddle fan.
That's right.
But Andy Dalton, he started off his career making a couple playoff appearances, didn't win a single one.
No.
Now that he doesn't have Marvin Lewis, we'll see. Zach Taylor, quarterback whisperer, some random 35-year-old good-looking quarterback coach. What's new?
Yeah.
He's Sean McVay, him. Like, you're not going to get an next Sean McVay. Cliff Kingsbury.
No.
Whatever that guy's name is for the Packers. Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
You're not getting another one.
Yeah.
So stop trying.
Yeah.
There's the end of that little rant.
Yeah. Andy Dalton. Yeah.
Yeah, move on.
Andrew Luck, A tier. Honestly, he could have been if Pat Mahomes didn't have the year that he had, you're talking about Andrew Luck in S tier.
You're talking about Andrew Luck as an NFL MVP. Like,
Yes,
S tier.
agreed.
Like,
Agreed.
he's at that level.
But unfortunately for him, Pat Mahomes did have that year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he after a rough start led them to like a historic second half. Really, got them into that playoffs. Yeah, I mean, coming off that shoulder injury, he needed to prove himself.
That was crazy. Comeback player of the year. That story. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yep.
All right. Next up, Marcus Mariota. Another one of Josh's
One.
favorites. He seems to like those Titans quarterbacks, but
Throw them together.
yeah. Maybe you get a B tier player.
Maybe.
But anyways, Marcus Mariota, same draft class as Jameis Winston. I'm out on both of them. Mariota can't stay healthy. Biggest game of the year, Week 17. You win and you're in. Versus the Colts.
Yeah.
They have to play Blaine Gabbert. They're forced to because Mariota's not healthy, and he just move on. Blake Bortles.
Yep. D tier.
D tier.
Yep.
Backup quarterback for the LA Rams. That's what we're talking about here.
Yep. I mean, he was cut. I mean,
for a reason.
Yeah.
They just signed him to extension last summer. They owe him
That's
a couple
so bad.
million still, guaranteed.
It's gonna be a decent sized cap hit, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
It's worth it to get him out of there.
Yeah. I don't think there's much to say, but next, Tom Brady. So wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6 rings.
6 rings.
6 S tier.
S tier.
He's
S
S tier. He's best quarterback to ever do it.
Yep.
Easily. It's not even
Agreed.
close.
Agreed. Super Bowl champion. He's gonna get his 7th this year.
You know what? You can say that with confidence, and I wouldn't doubt you. Like,
Oh.
he just might. That's the thing. You don't know.
He could go out there with the local high school football team
and win a title. As long as Bill Belichick's over there calling the plays.
he's gonna win you at least 10 games.
Yeah, he will.
It's just how it is.
All right, that wraps up our list. Tell us what you think with the rankings, how we did. I know people are going to disagree, but remember what I said about how just pick that player and say, is he better than any of these guys above him? And the answer is just probably not. I mean, but tell us in the comments if you disagree. Remember to like, comment, subscribe.
Certainly.
Anything else you got to say?
No, I think you
All right.
hit everything. Like that bell.
Peace out.
Peace.